Go upstairs to the dorm and lie down, yes? Lie down.
34's fucking appetizers, and you come in and laugh at her.
We all love an underdog, but let's be honest, Hell's Kitchen wouldn't be this entertaining without a little betrayal. Put a group of ambitious chefs under intense pressure, add sleep deprivation and constant criticism, and sooner or later someone's bound to turn on their teammates. What starts as teamwork often ends in finger-pointing and backstabbing that leave entire kitchens divided. Some chefs threw their friends under the bus to stay alive, while others lost control completely. And it almost always follows the same shape. A service goes badly, nobody wants to own it, and within about 90 seconds, a group of people who were covering for each other that morning are standing in a dorm screaming about who ruined the night. From secret accusations to unforgettable meltdowns, these are 10 times Hell's Kitchen chefs turned on each other. Two together. Jean-Philippe versus Van. Most Hell's Kitchen fans remember Jean-Philippe as the calm and charming maitre d' who somehow managed to keep the dining room under control. He is the one constant in a building where everything else is on fire. In 20 years, almost nothing has broken him. But in season 6, even he reached his breaking point. The trouble started during dinner service, when Van Herd was assigned to the tableside station. Since the role requires constant communication between the kitchen and the dining room, Jean-Philippe tried to guide him through the process, but Van was in no mood for taking directions. And that is where the mistakes began piling up. Food went to the wrong tables, timings drifted. Every correction Jean-Philippe offered came back as an argument instead of an answer, and the two of them started openly bickering in the middle of a full dining room. What started as simple advice soon turned into a heated argument in front of paying customers. Voices rose, diners turned around in their seats. Van told Jean-Philippe to stop telling him what to do, and Jean-Philippe, who had spent the entire night trying to protect the service, finally lost it. The situation got so out of hand that Chef Ramsay had to step in personally and separate the two before the entire restaurant descended into chaos. He came out of the kitchen, put himself between them, and called them both to him. What makes it stand out is who it happened to. Ramsay has separated dozens of chefs over the years, and almost every one of those fights started behind the pass, out of sight of the people eating. This one happened in the middle of the room, in front of a full house, between the man running the dining room and a chef who was supposed to be helping him run it. It was one of the rare moments when the dining room drama became just as explosive as the kitchen, and it happened to the one man on this show who never fights with anybody. Tiffany repeatedly called him out for his attitude, and Ramsay instantly repeatedly called him out for his attitude. Some rivalries in Hell's Kitchen build over time. Others start on day one. In season 15, Jackie managed to make enemies across the entire kitchen thanks to her constant trash talk and her refusal to take responsibility for her mistakes. The pattern was set early. She questioned other people's cooking, dismissed advice, and treated every correction as a personal attack. By the middle of the season, even the chefs who had defended her were running out of patience. After a disastrous dinner service, the red team was thrown out of the kitchen, while the blue team recovered and finished strong. Surprisingly, a member of the blue team was eliminated that night, leaving many contestants stunned. Everyone believed Jackie should have been sent home instead. Back at the dorms, Jackie wasted no time stirring the pot. Instead of reflecting on her performance, she mocked everyone and defended herself. She had an answer for every criticism and an excuse for every mistake. Kristen wasn't buying it. Kristen argued that Hell's Kitchen wasn't a place for excuses, and that experience alone couldn't justify repeated mistakes. She pointed out that she had worked for years to get to this level, and watching somebody with a fraction of that time refuse to listen to anybody was more than she could take. What followed was one of the ugliest confrontations of the season. The argument stopped being about cooking almost immediately and became personal, loud, and genuinely nasty, with both women talking over each other while the rest of the dorm sat and watched. It was a shocking moment that crossed the line from verbal attacks to outright disrespect. Many chefs would have exploded after being spoken to that way. Kristen didn't. Instead of retaliating, she called out Jackie's behavior and walked away, furious but composed. In a season filled with drama, this fight proved just how quickly personal grudges could tear teammates apart. Number 8. The Season 12 Elimination War. Most Hell's Kitchen elimination discussions are tense, but Season 12 delivered one that nearly turned into a full-blown war of words. After a disastrous dinner service, both teams were thrown out of the kitchen. The blue team went back to the dorms knowing they had to hand Ramsay 2 names, and nobody wanted to be the one to say them out loud. As they gathered to decide their nominees, the conversation initially seemed straightforward. Michael DeMarco was quickly mentioned as a candidate. and for a moment it looked like the whole thing would be over in a couple of minutes. But things took a sharp turn when Chris Eversole suggested Mike Aresta should also be considered. Eversole argued that Aresta had contributed very little during service. Aresta immediately pushed back, and within seconds the discussion exploded into a shouting match. He insisted he owned everything he did in that kitchen, and that anyone watching closely would have seen it. Team members began talking over one another, defending their own performances while blaming everyone else for the night's failure. One chef accused another of sabotage. Somebody else brought up a completely different station's mistakes. Every man in the room was suddenly building a case for himself. The tension reached another level when Jason Zapaltis turned on his own team and started naming names of his own. What had been a two-man argument became a free-for-all, with chefs threatening each other and nobody listening to anybody. What began as a debate over nominations quickly became a war of egos, with chefs trading accusations and refusing to back down. Ironically, after all the shouting and finger-pointing, Simone Hammond volunteered herself for elimination, bringing an abrupt end to one of the most explosive team meetings in Hell's Kitchen history. Number 7. The Season 3 Red Team. Most teams take a few services to fall apart. The Season 3 Red Team barely made it through opening night before turning against one another. From the moment dinner service began, mistakes started piling up. Instead of working together, the chefs spent more time arguing than cooking. Every error led to another accusation. One chef told another she didn't need that much liquid in the risotto. The reply was that she taught people every day and didn't need the advice. Within seconds, the two of them were pushing each other in a working kitchen. Teammates stopped helping each other and began blaming one another for every mistake. Chef Ramsay could hardly believe what he was seeing. Frustrated by the endless fighting, Ramsay delivered one of his most memorable insults of the entire era. Instead of acting like a team, the red team was divided from the very first service, proving that sometimes the biggest enemy in Hell's Kitchen isn't the food, it's your own teammates. Number 6. Lacey D'Angelo. Few contestants in Hell's Kitchen history found themselves as isolated as Lacey D'Angelo in Season 5. From the very beginning, her lack of confidence and inconsistent performances frustrated her teammates. During dinner services, they constantly questioned her effort and accused her of giving up whenever things became difficult. At one point, tensions became so high that Lacey and her teammates started openly blaming each other in the middle of service. One of them told her she should have started the soufflé long ago. Another said outright that if she got kicked off because of Lacey, she'd be coming after her. Things only became worse after the team lost another strong chef. Several contestants asked Lacey directly whether she truly deserved to stay in the competition. The dorms turned into an interrogation. Feeling overwhelmed and completely isolated, she eventually reached her breaking point. Surrounded by criticism from every direction, Lacey had enough and quit in frustration. Number 5. Raj Branston. For viewers, Raj Branston was one of the most entertaining contestants in Hell's Kitchen history. His strange decisions, confusing behavior, and unpredictable actions made him unforgettable, but for the chefs forced to work beside him, there was nothing funny about it. From the very beginning of Season 6, Raj struggled to keep up during service. His mistakes frustrated the entire blue team, and the frustration on a line depends on the one next to it. Even Trev, one of Raj's few supporters, eventually reached his breaking point. Trev had spent weeks defending him and covering for him. He criticized Raj for his lack of awareness and his poor performances, and the two ended up in a heated argument. Once Trev turned, the rest followed. The confrontation soon became a full team attack, with insults flying from every direction, and nobody left to speak for him. Feeling completely isolated, Raj accused his own teammates of being snakes and turning against him. He wasn't entirely wrong, he just never accepted the part he'd played in getting there. Number 4. Sabrina. Season 8 was already packed with arguments, but no one created more drama than Sabrina Brimhall. From the very first episodes, her attitude made her one of the most divisive contestants in the competition. She was loud, she was confident, and she was completely unwilling to be corrected by anybody standing next to her. During one chaotic service, Sabrina's behavior frustrated her teammates to breaking point. As mistakes piled up, communication collapsed completely. Chefs stopped calling out to each other because every call turned into an argument. Instead of focusing on the food, the kitchen turned into another shouting match. Sabrina never backed down. She argued with nearly everyone who challenged her and defended herself at every opportunity. When somebody pointed out a mistake, she found a reason it wasn't hers. What made those arguments so memorable wasn't just the yelling. It was the fact that almost every service seemed to end the same way, with Sabrina at the center of the chaos and an entire team lined up on the other side of it. Number 3, the Season 10 Red Team. If there's one season that perfectly represents chaos in Hell's Kitchen, it's Season 10. The Red Team became infamous for its endless arguments, personal attacks, and non-stop drama, to the point where the season needed extra episodes just to hold all of it. One of the biggest conflicts involved Robyn, Kimmie, and Tiffany. What started as a simple misunderstanding about something said the night before quickly turned into a full-blown argument. Instead of clearing things up, the conversation only became louder and more personal. One of them insisted she had said nothing about anybody's dish, instantly refused to stop interrupting long enough to hear it. Insults started flying across the dorms as everyone talked over each other, and within a minute it had stopped being about the original comment entirely. The constant fighting destroyed any sense of teamwork the Red Team had left. Rather than focusing on improving their services, the chefs spent more time attacking each other than cooking. Nedra. Season 11 wasted no time delivering drama, and one of the earliest rivalries came between Gina Eloise and Nedra Harris. From the very beginning, Gina's unusual behavior left her teammates confused, and Nedra was already convinced she didn't belong there. After dinner service, tensions finally boiled over when the two chefs began arguing in the dorms. What started as a disagreement about being blamed for mistakes quickly turned personal. Neither chef was willing to back down. One told the other to watch her step because she didn't know her. The other said she was dealing with someone completely deranged. The confrontation became one of the most bizarre fights of the season, with insults flying back and forth and emotions running high. The competition had barely begun, and teammates were already turning against each other, proving that in Hell's Kitchen, friendships can fall apart before the first dinner service is even over. Number 1, the Season 16 Red Team. If one season perfectly captures what happens when teammates stop trusting each other, it's Season 16. Both kitchens were filled with arguments, accusations, and constant drama. But one of the biggest clashes came between Gia and Kimberly on the Red Team. After another disappointing service, the team gathered to decide who should be nominated. Instead of having a calm discussion, the conversation quickly turned into a heated argument almost immediately, because both women had already decided the other one was the problem. As the accusations continued, neither chef was willing to back down. What made the fight so memorable was how quickly the entire team became divided. It wasn't two people arguing while everybody watched. Within minutes there were sides, and every chef in that dorm had picked one. Instead of working together to fix their problems, the chefs focused on pointing fingers and protecting themselves. Nobody was trying to win the competition anymore. They were just trying not to be the one blamed for the night. By this point, the Red Team had stopped acting like teammates altogether. If you enjoyed the video, drop a comment telling us which Hell's Kitchen betrayal you think was the worst of all time. And don't forget to subscribe for more kitchen disasters, legendary meltdowns, and Gordon Ramsay chaos.